Hey guys, about time I probably started getting going on this. I know I got it about 5 days ago, but weather outside has gone from nasty to worse, and now today it's just cold, windy, and rainy. So it's a perfect day to start putting this thing together. So hold tight, we'll get on it. Hope you enjoy. Okay, Garmin, stop recording. Hey guys, this is one of those spots where you, on the ARFs, where you run into a little bit of a problem. Mine's not so bad. I thought the motor was going to be a little bit too oversized, but with a little bit of finesse, I couldn't get this back lip to go in there, but with just a little finesse, I got it to slide in, and then the whole thing does drop down, and I can get the motor cover on there securely. I don't even think I'm going to have to batten it down with anything. I don't think it's going anywhere. So the other problem I run into here so far is mounting the ESC. That's not a big issue, but I'm going to be short on my power lead by just about, just a couple of inches. So I'll probably extend it out there about 3 or 4 inches just to make sure it can make the full trip. So we'll get that done, and then we'll get the power system installed, and I can start throwing the rest of this together. Okay, hope you're enjoying so far. If I come up with any other things along the way, remember this is an ARF, guys, an ARF Plus. So I've checked servos and stuff. I checked this rear servo here before I glued it up, of course. Okay, because that's the last thing you want to do is have to get in there and undo that or unglue. Although I think you can probably get at that servo mechanism. I always check my servos before I mount it up and stuff anyway. By the looks of the bags, they open up, and sometimes they go through the plane, and they test the servos and stuff too before it leaves the motion RC. I've noticed that. So if you guys ever notice that your box has been opened sometimes, or there's little holes in your bag and just this much sticking out, chances are they ran a servo tester in there, make sure everything was working. Okay, then that's a good plus. They try not to send something out the door that doesn't work. They don't want to disappoint people either. All right, so I'm going to have to extend this lead here a little bit, and then I'll get back to you. Like I say, if I come across any other problems, any other issues that I think need touching on, make points on or something like that, I'll stop the camera and from the frame by frame with speed photography, speed build, and I'll just go ahead and talk about it and point it out for you. Okay, hope you're enjoying. Catch you in a little bit. Okay, Garmin, stop recording. Okay, you see what I'm doing here, guys, right? I'm extending, but I almost forgot to put the 10 amp BEC in there, so we're gonna get that done real quick and splice the rest of this in. I may just put a new connector on the end, I'm not sure yet, but that'd probably be the best. All right, hold tight. Okay, Garmin, stop recording. Alright guys, now we've got this little deal all soldered up here. We've got our extension lead and the BEC wired in. Now I'm just going to test it to make sure that everything lights up and everything works. We're going to check motor rotation and all that stuff before we install it to make sure we get this thing done right the first time, right? So we'll test this up here real quick. Put the motor up here so you guys can see. To blow all this stuff around, right? Good luck with that. Get our little servo tester out here. That ready to go. Now you remember what I showed you what I was doing here. I removed the center lead, which is the power lead, the red wire. Okay, and I just folded it back so if at a later date I wanted to use this thing in another vehicle or something, it's got an inboard BEC. It's not going to be being used, but it's still available if I wanted to plug it back up. So, you know, rather than just cut the wire. Okay, now let's power it up and see what we get, guys. This is raw, I've not tried this. Okay, we've got rotation. I better hold on to this, huh? And that was not even half throttle on this thing, guys. This is going to be a powerful motor. Okay, I guess our test works pretty good, and we know the BEC is working, and everything else seems to be connected well. So we'll move along and get the power system installed. Hold tight. Okay, Garmin, stop recording. Hey guys, okay, we're back here again, and just turn the thing around a little bit so because I'm ready to bind the receiver. Now they say bind up the receiver and everything for the tail work that needs to be done, but I'm going to leave the hook off just in case there's a difference. I don't know for sure if I'm going to stick with this Admiral gyro receiver or not, and if I change it out, which I might possibly, it's going to have to be reset back there, you know, back in the tail anyway. So for now we're going to go with it and just see if I can get it working right, and if there aren't any problems, maybe we'll try it. If not, you know, out it goes. Okay, so in the meantime, what you see what I've done here, and this was an ARF kit. Now back here, the line, the lead that they gave me coming from the elevator back there only is so long, and to stretch it to a receiver, I'd have had to put my receiver like right up in here or up back in here. Well, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that, and I need to mount, because it's a gyro, I want to mount it on a flat surface. I do have a nice solid spot here, but I'm thinking about using that for a speaker should I decide to put some sound in this. So in the meantime, I'll probably mount it up here, and most of the other wires are up here anyway. So I just ran an extra jumper. I plugged in back here where it has an aileron, or I'm sorry, elevator, and coming out of the board up here, there's a spot for elevator, so I just put a short little wire of my own, and that runs in with this is the throttle, and you see minus the red wire there, guys, minus the red wire, okay, because we're running an external UBEC, which I've got wired in right there, and that conveniently kind of came right through everything over here and just tucks right back up there on the side. So that's going to be great. And the wire, I think I did just enough here to reach just about anything I should have to. So we're going to go ahead and do the binding process for this receiver, which is quite a few steps here. I had to set up mixing and stuff in my radio, and now we're going to go through a binding process. The difference in this one here is that the way I've got it set up, I have to charge it up, and then once I get it bound, disconnect power to the receiver before turning everything off. Okay, so that's the only other difference. We're going to do that real quick, and I'm going to get back to this build. Alright guys, pretty much just got the bombs and the pylons and stuff to go here, and the control linkages and a nose cone. But she's a beast. Losing stuff here. Oops. Anyway, she's a beast. I knocked something on the floor. I'm gonna get that stuff going here, and then she'll be just about finished up. Alright, I had this balanced perfect. Had to go and mess with it, right? There she goes. Okay. See you back in a bit, in a little bit when it's all done. Okay, Garmin, stop recording. I think we got it, guys. Just about done here. Just got to put a couple of ornamentals on there. 2 antennas, I think that's about it. And then the decals. And then the final touch is going on right about now. Lighting's kind of bad in here, so let's see if we can't get a little bit better view of this. She came out pretty good, guys. Everything's all hooked up, and haven't set up my radio and stuff yet as far as rates. I haven't even put a name in it yet, but all the buzzers and bells work. Hold tight, I'll give you a quick demonstration. Okay, Garmin, stop recording. Stop recording. Well, there she is, guys. I'm going to be running with a bigger battery, but everything's all wired in, hooked up. Looks good. Everything works. I've got the gyro. I went with the gyro. Look at the position I put it in. Now I've got it glued into the side of the styrofoam and onto the top. And underneath the middle, past that wood, there's a little styrofoam block that's under there. It's a part of the frame, so it's actually supported over 3/4 of that. So it's not going anywhere. It's pretty stiff. Same way I kind of mounted the gyro receiver in the Liberator. So here, let me give you a look-see at how she looks when she's done. I just now, oops, I have to move this battery here up a little bit. See what pilot Ryan cut the thing, but we'll figure something else out. I don't want to be cutting on this thing. Anyway, yeah, everything went together pretty well. Couple of problems, couple of issues I had. The motor is a little bit oversized, but I was able to finagle that in there and get it in there and get the bottom motor engine cover on there fairly flat with the surface under there. But everything else came out pretty well. Really beautiful jet here, guys. I've got to still reprogram mine so that I get something other than the soft start. Although it sounds cool, now I cut it down, but I could start it a little bit faster, but it still takes a little bit, which may not be too bad if I've got a 300-foot runway to take off on it. It might actually be kind of cool. But I'm wondering if it will bail me out, you know, if I say cut dead throttle and all of a sudden floor it. Is it going to take a long time to get going again, or is it going to go right away because the impeller's still spinning? So I'm going to get in there. I've got a programming card here that we're going to have to learn how to use, and I'm going to redo the ESC in there and set it probably for fast start, like I believe EDF jets are supposed to have anyway. So anyway, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a fun time building this thing, and it should be a rocket ship. Thanks for watching. This is Skip signing out.